Hello, I'm Russell Brand. This is the Trews, your daily true news. Click here to subscribe to the Trews 5 times a week. Today's Trews focuses on the events in Ferguson and around an interview by Sean Hannity of Patricia Bynes, a Democratic Committeewoman for the city. Many of you may have seen this interview already, and it's Sean Hannity at his virulent best. Just to give you a bit of information on Patricia Bynes, because you won't be hear her speaking in Sean Hannity's interview. She's, as I said, a Democratic Committeewoman, and she one of the quotes I liked from her, she says that the high number of municipalities and legislative bodies in the region has created a cascading system of authorities that appear disconnected from the lives of many African American families. So she provides a little bit of background around the kind of social tensions in Ferguson. So let's have a look now how Sean handles Patricia.
This also is not about Mike Brown. This is about police brutality. This is about racism. This is about racial profiling.
Now, my next guest triggered controversy last night.
I don't know how he even has the nerve to refer to them as guests, like that language. So out of step with his behaviour. Because guest, it was like setting up the domesticity of Sean's show as he's sort of home. Hello, welcome to my house. What are you doing? Wipe your feet, for God's sake. Wipe your feet. Wipe them. Have you wiped your feet? All right, just get out of my home. He doesn't understand what a guest is.
After claiming to NBC News that the unrest in Ferguson is not just about Michael Brown, but rather about police brutality, racial profiling, and racism. Here to explain, Ferguson, Democratic Committeewoman Patricia Bynes is with us. Committeewoman, were you there at the shooting?
I think that would have been revealed, Sean, if there'd been a Democratic Committeewoman present at the shooting. That would have been revealed by previous inquiries. So Sean's not doing, his tone and manner is not interrogative, like I've got to find out information. As soon as he opens his mouth, he's being sarcastic. And you can see in Patricia Bynes' face, she's already thinking, right, I'm going on Sean Hannity's show, better steel myself for the abuse.
Was I there at the shooting? I was not present for the shooting.
Like, she tries to sort of answer it humanely. No, Sean, I wasn't there for the shooting.
You're not there. So you don't know if this case is about police brutality, do you?
It's like Sean's already in a bad mood. He's like, every person he talks to is like, he's at the end of a weary divorce.
No, I do know that this case is about police brutality.
You do?
We're looking at a case that's dealing. Yes, I do.
You do?
We're talking about excessive force here.
So you don't believe?
No way
you don't believe
that
that?
Let me finish.
You don't.
There is
you
no
weren't
way.
there.
And I don't like your brother. Your brother comes down here and he treats this place like it's his own. It's like a really personal tension.
That a young man who is unarmed should have 2 shots in his head. That's a little excessive.
Let me educate you, Committeewoman.
Police brutality.
Let me educate you about the legal system in America. You can try and talk over me, but let me tell you, our system of justice, a person is innocent until proven guilty.
I like it that you could hear her sort of going, he just cut me off. Oh my God. Like, she must have known that she was going on the Sean Hannity show. I'm going to go on the Sean Hannity show, and I'm going to really go deep within myself spiritually and try and remain loving to Sean. That's going to be my challenge when I go on.
And there are eyewitness reports tonight that the officers suffered severe facial injuries, had an orbital eye socket fracture, and that Michael Brown charged at him.
Sean's, at this point, wants to base things on evidence, but it's come back that the X-ray revealed there were no serious injuries. And one thing that they already know is the first shot was fired from within the car and the body was 35 feet from the car. So it seems preemptive and excessive. Whilst there's no evidence, actual evidence, because the inquiry hasn't happened yet, and the word evidence means as a result of an inquiry, so, you know, fair enough. But there's a strong suggestion of brutality because of things like 2 bullets in the head, the distance of the body, the fact that he was unarmed, the fact that he's a teenager, the fact that that's not the role of the police in society. I mean, what Sean Hannity, bless him, no wonder he's in a bad mood. He's trying to hold up against this sort of tidal wave of proof that something is very wrong with society. No, it isn't. Society's fine, Patricia. Society's absolutely fine. And when you clean your teeth, can you put your cap back on the toothpaste? Thank you.
What if that turns out to be true?
He's not on.
What if that turns out to be true?
Oh, I'm sorry. I believe you cut my mic off because I tended to challenge you.
I said, what if that turns out to be true?
I didn't hear what you were saying.
I like Patricia. She's not. Oh, sorry, Sean. But sort of, there it is a bit like a really unhappy marriage, isn't it? I'm sorry, Sean, I wasn't listening to you.
I said if the officer has severe facial injuries, an orbital eye socket fracture, and eyewitnesses say that Michael Brown charged at him, you weren't there.
That's not proof either. That's not proof. So his speculation is empirical evidence. The speculation from the other side, based on things like, the bullets in the head, the dead body of the child, like that stuff, that's just speculation. But his speculation sort of has a different kind of weight to it. This is not just Sean Hannity, of course. Sean Hannity is just a sort of a twinkling fairy light on the Christmas tree of evil. That is Fox News.
Well, we have lots of eyewitnesses that are saying something different.
That's right.
So
we have
that's
both
what
sides.
The courts are for.
So you don't know, do you? You don't know what happened. You don't know if this is about police brutality, do you?
Oh, he's awful. He's so awful. But here's some other facts. Figures last year published by Missouri's Attorney General showed 7 black drivers were stopped by police for every white driver, and that 12 times as many searches were carried out on black drivers as white drivers. So that kind of information isn't included in this kind of reporting, because then you start to feel the burgeoning weight of the truth. And so Sean and Fox News, with their editorial practices, have to reduce, minimise and exclude the data that prevents us all reaching truth. This is a powerful propaganda machine, but it's having to work very hard. It's interesting.
I do know.
So you don't believe in a person being innocent until they're proven guilty?
The country that have... I didn't say that he's guilty, but we do have issues of police brutality in our community.
But you don't know if it's there's police brutality in this case, do you?
And then it becomes sort of more scam. We don't know if it's okay. Sure, we have a brutal police force. I mean, that seems evident from things like LAPD officers shooting and killing a 25-year-old black man who suffered from mental illness, allegedly. A few weeks earlier, 4 blocks away, cops from the same division allegedly beat to death a 37-year-old man, Omar Allegro, father of 3, in front of his home. In fact, over the past 12 months, 39 people have been killed by deputies from either the LAPD or LA County Sheriff Office. That comes out to almost 1 killing every 2 weeks. Nearly all of them were black or Latino. So this is information that creates a particular climate. And if you have that information, you can't help being influenced. And imagine if you actually live in Ferguson and are directly affected, then you're going to take to the streets eventually. And what happens in other areas of society, we notice, is that first there's, from the perspective of the powerful, dispensable ethnic groups or dispensable groups of society that will receive the worst treatment. But as the inequality grows, more and more people will begin to experience this in the same way that the American prison population you're seeing more and more white crystal meth addicts in prison. You will see now this kind of oppression and brutality exacted and enacted on more and more people. I'm not saying that it is not sufficient, that it's happening already. I'm just saying, watch out.
You asked me that and I said yes.
You know for a fact?
How many times are you going to ask me the question?
You're the judge, jury, and executioner here?
We have issues of police brutality.
I mean, you're the judge, you're an executioner. What we need to be is a little more fair, a little more serene. Calm down.
How do you know?
No, that was the part that it seems that Darren Officer
How do you
Wilson
know
played
in this case there's police brutality when we haven't gotten all the facts? How do you know? If we don't have the facts, how do you know?
She's sort of smiling now, like how sort of, like I once had to look after this little boy and I was trying to make him eat some vegetables. He wouldn't have them. He wanted the ice cream. I said, the vegetables first. In the end, I did just give him the ice cream and just sort of smiled. I thought, what can I do? There's nothing I can do. You should have the vegetables first. I'm not your parent. In fact, I shouldn't even know if you know. His dad was there.
Because we have too many instances of police brutality when it comes to law enforcement.
How do you know in this case?
In our community.
You said this case. How do you know in this case?
Because
no, this case. Shut up! No, this case. It's not a part of a massive national trend.
Because there's no way that a young man who's unarmed should have 2 shots in his head and 4 in his body.
What if he was charged?
There are some ways. Okay, let me think. He was running. He can transform into a rhinoceros. Now, he was part rhinoceros, like in the movie Transformers, but for rhinos, and he was nearly at the car, and the guy, maybe he had to shoot at him. What about that? You weren't there! You weren't there!
What if he was charged? If he would, legally, let me educate you again.
I hope Sean never does make good on his pledge to educate people. He's tried educating me. He's trying to educate this lady here, Patricia Bynes. I don't want to go to Sean's school, but bullying. Like, you never get answered any of the questions. The information's really, really biased. Welcome to the Sean Hannity Institute of Education. Sir, can I go to the... Shut up! Shut up! You weren't there! You weren't there! But just want to go to... Shut up! Shut up! Let me educate you! Well, could I just go... No!
Let me educate you again. If he was charging at the police officer...
So if he was a rhino... All right, Sean, if he was a rhino...
I am very much aware of that, but there is no way that an unarmed man should have 2 shots in his head and 4 in his body.
Well,
so you keep wanting to talk over the facts. I think you need the education.
If he was charging at the officer, that is by definition, and he was only hitting the arm, and if he kept charging after being hit in the arm...
Right, wait. He's charging at the officer, then he's catching out, and then that's the bullet's gone in him, and like kryptonite or something, it's made him go stronger, and he's charging, and it's like Wolverine maybe, and he's got those claws, because then that is justifiable force. So Sean's exhausting the sort of miraculous realms of wonder to create a sort of a Minotaur myth to justify the murder of an 18-year-old boy.
The officer would still have the right to defend himself by law. Is that not true, ma'am?
Did you just nearly call her a woman? Is that true? Woman? I can't remember what you are. You seem... What's those ones that they got the wobbly bits here? That's the womany ones, is that right? Woman! I remember this.
Well, the officer does have the right to defend himself, but 2 shots to the head, I think he's doing too much. I think a logical person can agree to that.
You don't know, and I don't know.
You don't know, and I don't know, and the pen don't know. Sean, you're not clever enough to do your job. That's what it is, isn't it? Like, sort of, I had to make a bed once. It was too hard, and I got in a bad mood about it. I think Sean's just in that mood all the time. It's like, oh, these bits! Well, there's not enough bits in the box. Oh, this bloody thing! I'll sleep on the floor! He's just a man hopelessly out of his depth, trying to scrabble around in a universe that he can't understand remotely.
You should be a better leader for the community and wait till the facts come in, but I gotta go.
He knows he's saying something outrageous now. You should be a better leader for the community and wait for the facts to come in. Sean, that's all right. Nope, gotta go. Like, imagine having a relationship with Sean. Now, I won't be coming back tonight. I'm gonna sleep in the car because of you. Sean, they're being ridiculous again. No, I don't care. The phone's set on fire. It's broken. So here's a few pieces of information that you won't get from Fox that might be helpful to you in forming an opinion. This is one of the services we provide here at the Trews. There is no database that exists to track instances of police use of deadly force. That doesn't exist. I wonder why that would be. No one knows how many people are killed by police, justifiably or not. Nor do we know how often police wound but do not kill citizens they are sworn to protect. Oddly enough, way back in '94, Congress called for compiling data on the use of excessive force by police. Annual reports were envisaged, the very type of information that would provide a useful frame of reference for the current controversy, but that, I guess it didn't happen. The Uniform Crime Report compiled by the FBI had some data, but it relies on voluntary reporting by law enforcement. In 1996, a report prepared for the Bureau of Justice Statistics intended as a starting point for the never-gathered annual reports on excessive force. It noted, regardless of viewpoint, everyone agrees that excessive force has an adverse impact on relationships between police and communities they serve. So it's obviously an issue that doesn't get examined or looked at, presumably because the conclusions would prevent this static and yet volatile situation from continuing.
Juan Williams and Larry Elder next.
Well, in a way we have to feel some sympathy for Sean because he's grappling with a universe that he clearly doesn't understand. Let's not have a campaign to put up billboards saying Sean Hannity is an idiot. Let's set up a special school for Sean where we can teach him the basic tenets of humanity, compassion, empathy, love, wisdom, listening, respect, all things that Sean Hannity has somehow lost on his journey to that peculiar place in his weird Sean Hannity world. That was the Trews. We'll see you for some more Trews soon. Subscribe here.
Nose is a tool that is abused to fool you and to leave you scared and confused. Trews is like the nose. If the nose was true, I want some Trews. Let's have some Trews.